As a clone, apparently there's this thing spreading around where people are saying that the person that's actually in jail is not the real Diddy. Let me catch you up to speed. This is a real photo of Diddy. Notice the markings on his face? They're very prominent, and they are from the real Diddy. However, in this mugshot right here, you do not see these markings at all. So people are claiming that whoever is in jail, allegedly, supposedly, is not the real Diddy. This photo always terrified me. There's just something off about this photo. To make matters even more weird, Diddy's private jet is still flying around as we speak and making stops in various locations around the world. Just a few days ago, his private jet was spotted at Auckland Airport, a spot normally reserved for private aircraft. This is from the account Celebrity Jets. They're actually tracking P. Diddy's private jet flight path, and this is when it was landing at New Zealand. And 2 days ago, it was at Honolulu, Hawaii. This is the actual private jet that Diddy owned. And you can see him getting off this private.
Kanye West just flipped the industry on its head again after dropping a jaw-dropping claim that's got everyone talking. He said Diddy didn't actually walk into Fort Dix. He sent a clone.
We got video of him at Fort Dix reporting for work in the library, where he is making recommendations and handing out different movies and books for his fellow inmates.
I'm really fascinated just by the library
But
itself.
you're seeing him here. This is him reporting to work, taking off his jacket, taking off his scarf, and settling in for a day on the job.
It looks like a public school library.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kanye straight up said the man behind bars right now isn't the real Diddy, and the new so-called elite footage going around has people losing their minds over how weird it all looks. And just when the drama couldn't get any louder, 50 Cent jumped right into the mix. He's been calling out Diddy after supposedly getting hit with a cease and desist over that explosive docuseries exposing every shady detail around him. The situation is spiraling fast, and everyone online is glued to the updates. TMZ even leaked a few clips that allegedly show Diddy talking with inmates inside Fort Dix. But instead of clearing things up, it just made everything murkier.
This was the chapel, and this is the media library in the chapel, which is where Diddy's currently working. He's working in a Life Connections program, which is an 18-month program that helps rehab people and get them closer to spirituality, to charity groups. And with that, it will shorten his sentence. But in this media library, he helps inmates with religious material, rent out movies, that kind of stuff. You see him pushing a
really
cart
interesting.
with a TV on it.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the laundry room when he first got there.
Yeah,
so this got to be
his first
This
assignment.
got to be a promotion.
Yeah.
It feels like a promotion. It feels like maybe he tried the lunchroom and put in a request for something different.
Yeah, it does believe it does sound like
mogul.
he used maybe possibly some connections to get a better job.
People started freezing frames and zooming in like detectives. They pointed out how the dude in the video didn't quite line up with Diddy's real features. The skin tone looked slightly off. The facial structure seemed a bit different, and even his vibe felt strange. Like someone pretending to move and act like Diddy, but missing that signature confidence. Fans were quick to react, saying it looked like somebody trying too hard to play the role, but not quite pulling it off. The internet went wild, convinced something deeper is going on here.
Behind the explosive documentary is Combs' longtime rival, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and director Alexandria Stapleton.
How did you get that footage of Diddy?
I figured most journalists would not disclose their sources.
The recordings give viewers an intimate look at Combs' mindset ahead of his criminal trial, even conversations with his legal team.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day. Perhaps. What was he intending to use it for?
I have no idea what he was doing that for.
I mean, you know, you're talking about a man who films himself doing everything and has for decades. I think he wanted someone to be behind the scenes with him.
Combs' team firing back in a statement to NBC News today, saying the Netflix so-called documentary is a shameful hit piece and that they relied on stolen footage that was never authorized for release. His team sending a cease and desist to Netflix. Netflix referring NBC News to a statement from Stapleton in which she said they lawfully obtained the footage.
Once that footage dropped online, social media turned into a full-on investigation zone. People instantly started pulling up old pics, matching them side by side and asking the big question, is this really Diddy or someone planted to act like him? The whole thing turned into a mystery overnight, and nobody could tell if it was a mix-up, misidentification, or something way darker hiding underneath. Kanye's comments just blew the door wide open, making the internet go even crazier. But what made everything wilder was how the so-called Diddy inside the prison didn't even move like the real one. Fans started slowing down clips, noticing every tiny move, the way he walked, the gestures, the facial reactions. And it all felt off. Once people started connecting the dots, things went from strange to downright suspicious. Then came the real curveball. Diddy's private jet was still out here flying across the globe while he was supposedly locked up with zero freedom. People were like, what's going on?
Pasternak has been working with every celebrity, from Ariana Grande to Jessica Simpson, from Mac Miller to Brittany Murphy. This man is everywhere, and there are major red flags. Like, why is an ex-government defense agent working as a nutritionist for the biggest celebrities? It really appears that Harley is a handler, and that's why celebrities like Kanye West has exposed him. For example, Kanye shared text messages showing Harley threatening him to drug him up like a zombie, send him away to a hospital, and keep him away from his kids.
The man's got piles of civil suits and major legal drama, yet his jet was cruising through international airspace like nothing ever happened. Naturally, everyone started asking the same question. If Diddy's behind bars, who's flying that jet? When internet sleuths checked the alleged flight logs and matched them to court dates, it got even crazier. The plane was reportedly landing in places tied to business deals, offshore accounts, celebrity hangouts, and luxury spots around the world. Exactly where Diddy used to handle his big moves. The coincidences felt too wild to ignore. Basically, that jet was hitting all the same spots the old Diddy used to visit.
He wasn't invited to these parties. Obviously, Cat Williams done talked about these parties. People have mentioned
I don't know if it's a party. I'm saying that metaphorically. You know what I'm saying?
But you've heard about the parties that everyone is talking about. But you've never got invited to them. So you
I don't know.
really...
I don't know. I don't even know what the party. That's how far out of it I am. I don't know. But people call me Illuminati too. It's like, call me what? Okay, cool. I'm Illuminati. Then whatever it is. It's like whatever. I don't care. I really don't give a. I really don't give a.
There you have it.
Business hubs, luxury islands, and party cities. Except the real Diddy was supposed to be sitting inside a prison cell. That's when people started realizing this whole thing might not be as simple as it seemed. Something about it just felt off, and the theories started rolling in fast. This is where Kanye came swinging in again.
Kanye West. Kanye, why'd you show up today?
Hey guys.
Last year, he spoke publicly about his own so-called handler, Harley Pasternak, a fitness coach with rumored government connections. According to Kanye, he warned fans that everybody in Hollywood got a handler and even dropped a chilling message. If I ever disappear and come back, it's not me.
Here from ABC, as if the trial of Sean Combs needed more spectacle, in walked Kanye West. He was inside for about 20 minutes. He didn't get into the courtroom. The guards made him go through security just like everybody else. He had to check his phone. And then he was taken up to the 24th floor to the overflow room. Now, I'm not sure if he didn't like it, didn't think it was the right vantage point for him, but he was only in there for a matter of minutes until he walked right back out. He was wearing this white, maybe canvas suit. And he told us that he was here to support Sean Combs.
So when Diddy vanished from the spotlight for nearly 2 years and then suddenly popped up looking, talking, and moving completely different, while someone else was allegedly flying his jet, fans started connecting the dots like crazy. And we can't forget how Kanye was standing with Diddy from the jump during the trial drama. The moment Diddy's name got dragged into court, Kanye pulled up the very next day to show his support. He wasn't turning his back on him, not one bit. During that visit, Kanye even met with Christian and reportedly told him he'd do whatever it takes to help Diddy through the storm.
We're not sure that Combs' legal team wants him here for support or if he came on his own volition, but it certainly was a moment While testimony was going on from Sean Combs's former assistant, a guy named Jonathan Perez, who was with him from 2021 to 2024, said he set up hotel nights that he referred to as king nights, brought the lights, brought the Astroglide, brought the baby oil. The jury saw a lot of pictures today, too, of things seized from Combs's Los Angeles mansion. 900 bottles of Astroglide lubricant. According to the HSI agent on the witness stand, the jury saw boxes of it, all stacked up in Combs's garage.
That wasn't just some friendly gesture. That was Kanye making a public statement that he was riding for Diddy no matter what. But here's where it gets real strange. Just a few days later, Kanye spoke directly with Diddy again, and even dropped clips of their convo online. That single move sent shockwaves through the internet. Everyone wanted to know, why was Kanye so deep in Diddy's business? And what did he know that nobody else did?
Yeah, I hear you. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And have some fucking fun.
Yeah.
Not having no fun and then get behind the mic, have some fun, chop up them samples, get back on your Hitman vibes and have some fun, get back to smiling.
Yeah.
These other motherfuckers, they wasting your time, big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But right after that chat, something shifted. Kanye suddenly backed away, like something behind the scenes seriously shook him. People couldn't stop asking what really went down in that private call. Did Kanye hear something that made him completely flip his stance?
Actually realize like how there's a taller Kanye and a smaller Kanye, taller Kanye and a smaller. They're fighting for who's gonna be Kanye. They're fighting for who's gonna be Kanye, dude, right in front of you. And it's like, yo, bro, leave my brother alone.
So Orlando is claiming that there were two Kanyes, but he isn't new to crazy claims.
Hollywood's been swimming in cloning rumors for years, and while it sounds wild, plenty of folks in the industry actually take it seriously. The whispers never stop. Even actor Orlando Brown jumped into the mix last year, claiming that Kanye himself had been cloned. And surprisingly, a lot of people nodded in agreement. The internet ate it up like fresh gossip.
So he may not be the most reliable source. After this claim made by Orlando Brown and all the controversies he was in, Kanye shared a message from his personal trainer Harley Pasternak that was quite haunting. This is the guy Kanye was with when he was first taken to the hospital and given meds for his bipolar disorder. Harley has worked with many celebrities, including many people who have died to drug-related incidents like Mac Miller and Brittany Murphy. This has led theorists to believe that Pasternak may have had a hand in these people's deaths.
Kanye has never shied away from the topic either. He's spoken about cloning before, especially during that moment when he made a strange comment about Elon Musk. Kanye said something that left people speechless. Am I the only one who thinks Elon could be half Chinese? Have you ever seen his pics as a child? Take a Chinese genius and mix them with a South African supermodel, and we get an Elon. I say an Elon because they probably made 10 to 30 Elons, and he's the first genetic hybrid that stuck.
Kanye West calls Twitter chief Elon Musk a half-Chinese clone engineered like Obama.
Boom!
Musk says he's taking West's comment as a compliment.
That's great. That's great. Well, there you go.
You let him back on Twitter. Jesus Christ.
Enough already.
Well, just... yeah, he's not right, but duh.
The moment he said that, the internet exploded with theories and debates. People were losing their minds trying to decode what he really meant. But that wasn't the last time cloning popped up around Kanye's name. The topic started bouncing through celebrity circles and even reached politicians. Some people online began dragging former President Obama into the mix, claiming he was connected to cloning programs, while reality star Kristen Cavallari took it even further. She jumped on her podcast and talked directly about the Kanye clone theories.
Kristen Cavallari, renowned hip-hop critic, is weighing in on Kanye West. This just seems bizarre, and especially because the way she's not actually, I guess she is sort of waxing, she's remembering the good old days with Kanye. And she seems to think that the Kanye we're seeing now is not the same Kanye. I don't mean that.
Like literally a different person.
She's talking clones. Why? We'll get into that, but here is her theory.
Kanye is a clone. I wholeheartedly believe what I'm about to say. I think there are clones, and I'm gonna tell you why. Remember, he was really talking a lot. The cabal didn't like that, you know? The Illuminati, the cabal, they did not like how much he was saying. He was calling a lot of people out, and he said, if I go away and I come back and I look different, that is not me.
If I ever went anywhere, we know why.
What happened? He was gone.
He did that because he wanted to gain weight. I would do that too. I'm going to do that next summer.
Look at him. Compare old photos of him. It's not the same person. It's not. Don't cancel me, Hollywood.
I don't know if Hollywood's going to cancel her, but you know who did cancel her, which I'm sure actually feeds into Kristen's conspiracy theory?
Who?
TikTok. That clip from her podcast she posted it on TikTok, and they took it down. In fact, did they shut down her whole page?
Kristen didn't hold back. She said she actually believes celebrity clones are real and even claimed Kanye was replaced by an Illuminati clone. She pointed to how different he started looking, acting, and speaking, and how he disappeared from the spotlight for so long. Fans were stunned, wondering if she just confirmed the wildest rumor in Hollywood history.
They took that post down, and I mean, this is just gonna feed into more of these crazy conspiracy theories. Obviously, TikTok took it down because it was a community guideline violation. That's what they're saying.
Well, what guideline? Talking about the Illuminati?
I mean the fact that that she's talking about a conspiracy theory and her only evidence is that he looks different.
Kristen didn't just stop at Kanye. She took things to another level by bringing Britney Spears into the mix. She claimed the Britney we're seeing today might not even be the real Britney. According to her, Britney supposedly reached out privately before vanishing again, and that part had people absolutely stunned. I mean, when's the last time Britney Spears personally reached out to shut down a rumor? That little detail alone made fans think something much deeper was going on behind closed doors. So when you start stacking all these wild claims next to what's unfolding with Diddy, the picture starts looking way stranger.
Obviously onto something. I'm onto something.
Kristen Cavallari is trying to set the record straight about comments she made about Britney Spears. After the Hills alum recently shared on her Let's Be Honest podcast that she believed the Lucky Singer was a clone, Kristen reveals on her November 5th episode of her podcast she received an interesting request.
I get a call from my publicist. Okay, so he calls me and he goes, guess who wants your phone number? And I went, who? Britney Spears. And I'm going, what? I'm not gonna lie though, at first, because if you didn't listen to the last episode Justin and I did, go listen. But we talked about Hollywood conspiracies and I said, my big thing was Kanye West, I think, is a clone, but also I said Britney is not Britney.
The 37-year-old who previously met Spears at her Las Vegas residency in 2014 explains that she felt the pop legend had heard about the comments she made on her podcast and wanted to dispel the rumors.
So my initial reaction was, I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. I was honestly like, oh my God.
Like you thought it was the Illuminati or the cabal?
Like they're on to me, man, okay? They didn't like that podcast episode. So I'm like, give her my number. Like, great.
Kristen explains that she and her publicist were then put into a group text with Britney and her manager.
Her manager puts us on a group chat and says like, oh, ladies, like, or he called us icons. But
gotta get that
two
in there.
icons coming together, blah, blah, blah. And then Britney sent me a text and I'm not going to read it. I would love to read it. Just take my word.
Why
on
would you
that.
love to read it? Because I know why you would love to read it.
It was a bit of a roller coaster.
And it was like, no, that's Britney Spears. Nobody can fake that. That's not, or it's the Britney Spears that's put out to us right now. Because it was
Or
like
it's
one
her
big run-on
clone.
sentence.
Or it's her clone. Her clone let me know that she's not a clone. That's a red flag. Only a clone would say something like that.
Diddy's name has been tied to federal investigations for years, and people have long believed he wasn't facing all that pressure on his own. There have been whispers that certain powerful people were always moving behind the curtain, protecting, advising, or even directing his next steps. So now, when people spot his private jet jetting around the world while he's supposedly locked up, Kanye suddenly stepping back and cloning rumors flooding Hollywood again, it's no wonder folks are convinced something massive is happening behind the scenes. And here's the kicker.
Now we have two people come out saying that Diddy was talking to the feds. Do you think that's true?
Whether it's true or not, and he might have been cooperative in some way, shape, or form, you don't get away with human trafficking. unless you give up John Gotti or something like that. And that's not what happened here. I can tell you, Jesse, that this investigation's been going on for a long time, very closely held by HSI, so much so that even some of the agents on the raid a week ago today didn't know whose house they were raiding until they got there. That's how closely held this investigation.
Wow, because there could have been a tip.
Absolutely.
And there are allegations that he was paying law enforcement through his chief of security, which also happened to be Michael Jackson's chief of security.
I don't know if I buy into that. You know, people in Diddy's situation like to have those involved in law enforcement close to them.
Diddy wasn't just some average music mogul chasing fame and fortune. He had deep ties in high places and major influence in powerful circles. If certain people wanted a situation handled, they absolutely had the pull to make it happen. This is the same man who could get the president's attention when he needed a favor or a pardon. With connections that high up, it's no surprise people are questioning whether what we're seeing right now is really the full story. That right there shows just how powerful Diddy really was. If he could reach that far into political circles, getting the attention of presidents and high-level officials, then who's to say he couldn't pull off something even wilder, like arranging for someone else to take his place?
That doesn't mean they're taking payoffs. That doesn't mean they're doing big favors. They like that closeness. It's just like how Diddy was able to court Diageo or Estee Lauder. He was very successful in doing that, and that made him a lot of money and gave him credibility outside the hip-hop rap world. And that's what he was trying to do here, a lot like what Epstein did with very powerful political and business figures.
You gotta realize one thing, that boy's life is dangerous. His life doesn't, he's just not dangerous with the shit they said he was doing, but he's in danger. He knows too much. One thing you gotta realize is he probably having a conversation right now with the higher ups and everybody else to figure out how it's gonna work itself out. Because he know all the secrets. And if he get to run his mouth, it could be a bad look. I look at it like the most important thing is the industry need to be built over. You have all these executives, there's somebody who's their father, their grandfather, or all these type of stuff, and they don't give people the opportunity to grow and learn. I know when I first started in this business, it wasn't a machine. I had to be the machine. I had to figure out how to get my songs on the radio, because at that time they was getting 5% and they got 10%. They was popping champagne bottles. I went from 95% of the songs you hear on the radio was my songs into 97%. So you have to really do all this thing and really do the work.
When a person has that kind of access and influence, shaping what the public believes isn't that far-fetched. He wasn't some small-time celebrity chasing headlines. This was a man who built decades of connections across entertainment, politics, and finance. Diddy's network ran deep. We're talking about major executives, global investors, and political insiders, people who could move quietly and make things happen fast. With that level of wealth and reach, pushing any plan forward wouldn't be a problem at all.
Diddy could be a free man by the end of this week. We broke a story last night that Donald Trump is seriously considering commuting his sentence. And there has been a lot of fallout with our story.
By the way, commuting his sentence before he's even in a prison.
Right.
He's still at Brooklyn MDC waiting to find out which prison he's going to. But this is something that President Trump is considering. And the fact that he's considering it is causing a bit of an internal war at the White House, because not everybody in the administration thinks this is a good idea.
So we are told this, and this is coming from somebody high up in the White House. We broke that story, incidentally, that right after the sentencing, his legal team, Diddy's legal team, got in touch with somebody who had the president's ear, and that the president was looking at the paperwork.
And the president acknowledged that
like 2 days later.
Yeah, in the Oval Office.
2 days later. Yeah. So we now know that Trump is considering, we're told that he's kind of waffling, he's going back and forth on this, but there are staffers in the White House telling him, don't do it. So we put this story up last night.
Folks tend to forget how many powerful hands Diddy used to shake in private rooms the public never even heard about. He was never moving like your average A-lister. He was operating on a whole different level, playing a game most people don't even know exists. Even his own lawyer once hinted that Diddy had a strategy nobody would see coming.
I know is everything that I read in that article looked accurate.
Well, look, that's probably some relief to Diddy's team, you know. And
I don't know. I think they're moving ahead. I don't think anybody is counting on anything, and
Right.
But I think the reporting was accurate.
how did you hear he's faring since the sentencing?
I don't know. I mean, I hopefully we'll see him soon and find out.
I guess lastly, I would ask, what do you think his future looks like?
I have
You
the
know?
utmost confidence in Sean. I think Sean will make a comeback, the likes of which people are not expecting. So I've watched him. I've known him for a long time. I have the utmost confidence in him.
In whatever sphere. I mean, he's done business, the
he's
music,
iconic
the
in
fashion.
a lot of ways, and I think he'll make a comeback. I'll leave it at that.
And now people can't stop wondering if this is what he meant. Was there a secret backup plan ready to flip the script at the last second? Could this whole situation be a distraction? Something designed to keep Diddy far from the worst of it while the world focuses on a completely different storyline? The idea sounds unbelievable, but nothing about this saga has been normal. Let's be real. If anyone had the cash and connections to make something like that happen, it was Diddy. If he ever felt boxed in, you better believe he'd do whatever it took to protect his future and legacy.
Before-scene footage of Sean Diddy Combs in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last September.
You want to put stuff in my fanny pack, King?
The exclusive video obtained by Netflix shows Combs debating with his lawyers about strategy.
Listen to me. I'm going to get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what, no matter what nobody said. Let's just here and there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing.
The footage is part.
With the way things have been unraveling lately, it's no surprise people think there might have been a bigger plan in motion from the very start. The whole story feels way too layered to just be coincidence. Now, 50 Cent's explosive new Netflix docuseries just turned the volume all the way up on this situation.
Highly anticipated docuseries by director Alex Stapleton and rapper and executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, titled Sean Combs: The Reckoning. Was there anything that surprised you when you were watching?
I think it was surprising that he actually filmed it.
It was very interesting to watch a man who's known for his brand presence. You know, he has a really amazing knack for marketing and all of that, and how he was sort of taking that into account in how he was coming off to the public.
The leaked footage featured in the series shows a shocking moment from before the trial, where Diddy is allegedly heard telling his legal team to track down the most corrupt person they could find. He supposedly added that they should use that person's influence to help him, which instantly sent chills through viewers. The idea that Diddy would even say something like that got people's minds racing.
The exclusive video also shows Combs in Harlem greeting fans.
Oh, fuck that, bro. Long as you win, I'm gonna win. As long as you win, we winning. I'll accept it.
I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on. I got. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath. Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with. Like that's what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? Oh. It's like 150 hugs.
If he could find someone that corrupt to bend the system, couldn't he also find someone willing to step into his place behind bars? That one clip blew the entire conversation wide open. The internet lit up with debates, fans, critics, and insiders all asking the same thing. If this man had the reach to find corruption, how far would he really go to save himself?
Public person as well, and there was one instance in Harlem, and his reaction when those people
Went away.
Got in
the car and said, I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirt. That was, it shows you his character.
was that the reason for including it?
Yeah, I mean, what's the odds that you would do that in front of the camera?
Let people know that the show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. We weren't trying to just get the highlights, the salacious details, you know, that the real goal was to storytell. And not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this project.
And of course, Diddy's lawyers are going into full damage control mode. They've been firing off statements left and right, slamming the series as a shameful and disgraceful hit job. According to them, Netflix used stolen or unauthorized footage that was never meant to be seen by the public. What's wild is, Diddy's been filming his own life since he was 19, building a massive archive of his story. Now that same footage might be the very thing pulling his entire empire back into the spotlight.
Part series also features 2 jurors from Combs' trial who are speaking for the first time about how they reached their mixed verdict, finding Combs guilty of 2 prostitution offenses, but clear of racketeering and trafficking charges, both sharing their thoughts on the relationship between Combs and singer Cassie. Juror 75 describing them as 2 people in love, and Juror 160 saying in part, domestic violence wasn't one of the charges. Cassie.
Diddy's team is coming out swinging, claiming the streaming platform twisted his personal video archives into something meant to destroy him. They're insisting that nothing in the series should be taken seriously, that the whole thing is pure manipulation. But 50 Cent, he's standing tall and unapologetic. He made it crystal clear he's not backing down. Not now, not ever. 50 straight up shut down the talk that he made the docuseries out of revenge. According to him, this isn't about payback or petty drama. It's about truth.
You're a victim in all this.
I believe Cassie's a victim in all this because she came in as she's like 18, like 19 years old. In the very beginning, after a while, over time, you condition for it.
The goal of what the film is trying to do is to let the audience kind of come in to ask questions like, were their decisions colored by certain things, and who got the benefit of the doubt, you know, in that courtroom?
Do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as hip-hop is fine with his behaviors.
He said the goal was to expose what's really been happening behind closed doors, to show people the side of Diddy that doesn't show up in magazine covers or polished PR moments. So now you've got one side calling the series a hit job, and the other saying the footage speaks for itself. And judging by how the internet is reacting, this battle is nowhere near finished. He even doubled down, saying this wasn't personal. It was about peeling back the image and revealing who Diddy really is when all the glamour, money, and power are stripped away. Someone who actually watched the entire docuseries said that if the public really knew what was shown in those episodes, everything people thought they understood about Diddy would flip upside down. The claims inside the show are shaking the industry to its core.
The Diddy documentary isn't even out yet, and Diddy is mad as hell. Diddy's crisis PR manager put out statements to the media outlets claiming that the never-before-seen videos that are in the Netflix documentary were stolen. He's claiming that the one of him talking to his lawyers about doing dirty business was never meant to see the light of day. So you know what? Let's go ahead and hear what he said one more time.
We have to find somebody that'll work with us that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business. We're losing.
Diddy is also pissed that 50 Cent is the one that created this documentary, calling it a shameful hit piece, and he said it's crazy that 50 Cent got to work on this documentary when he has had a personal vendetta against Diddy for years. Already know while Diddy is sweating, 50 Cent literally doesn't care. He has still been trolling on his social media all day long. Media outlets are sharing how 50 Cent posted that Diddy's publicist was saying nasty things about him and he just didn't want to go to Diddy's parties. He captioned it, "Netflix is concerned that their servers may not be able to handle everyone watching at once at 12 a.m. Eastern time. It goes live."
And if even half of it turns out to be true, Hollywood might be sitting on some of the darkest secrets it's ever kept hidden. And now, the questions are hitting harder than ever. Is Diddy really sitting in that prison cell right now? Or did someone pull off one of the wildest switches in celebrity history? Is Kanye speaking truth? Or is he just shaking the whole room to make everyone look deeper? Between whispers of body doubles, quiet negotiations, and talk of sealed federal deals, this saga feels way bigger than just one man. Whatever's happening here, it's starting to look like the kind of story that could shake the entire entertainment world to its foundation. Now the internet's buzzing louder than ever, and every corner of social media is diving deep into theories about what's really going on.
Diddy is accusing Netflix and the team of stealing this unseen video footage that is in this documentary. The team hit back pretty quickly. They said in a statement that this video footage came to them and they did everything legally to acquire this video footage. And that they basically own all of the rights of this unseen video footage that is about to be in this Netflix doc. Probably one of the funniest things that I saw in these statements from Diddy's PR team is the fact that he didn't want these video clips of him talking to this lawyer out for the public to be able to see. You didn't want this clip of you talking to your lawyers viewed by the public. Why were you having somebody film you at all? Some of the video footage, Diddy admits that he hired people to film him because he wanted to use it in his own
People aren't just watching anymore. They're investigating, comparing old interviews, analyzing voice tones, and even studying Diddy's facial expressions from years past. Some fans claim the man seen lately has slightly different features. His eyes sit lower, his voice sounds a bit rougher, and his energy just feels off. Others argue it's simply stress, age, and pressure catching up. But not everyone's buying that explanation. Meanwhile, whispers about Project Phoenix, a rumored program connected to celebrity lookalikes, are starting to circulate again. Online threads are claiming this could be part of a long-standing Hollywood network that protects high-profile figures when legal trouble hits too close.
Watch this and think that you really hate Sean Combs.
Why would they be thinking that?
Because of the things that you post on Instagram,
Yeah,
because
but this,
of the...
Look at this. And let's stop for a second and do say that I hated him enough to hire his kids. And we've never done anything to each other. So it's just competitive energy and things that you say about other artists while you're in hip-hop culture.
This documentary is one of several that has chronicled Combs' rise and fall.
Nothing's confirmed, but the speculation is wild. People are even saying certain insiders are getting nervous because the story's spreading faster than expected. Every new post, photo, or video connected to Diddy gets torn apart frame by frame, with fans saying they're spotting more inconsistencies than ever before. Kanye, on the other hand, has gone quiet. No interviews, no sudden rants, just silence. And that silence is making everyone even more suspicious. Some think he's laying low because he said too much already, while others believe he's waiting for the perfect moment to drop more proof. Either way, the tension online is thick.
But Stapleton says theirs is different.
Yeah, there's a lot of new information. No one had ever really put it together like that before.
For 50 Cent, he says he feels a sense of obligation.
Well, you know, if I didn't say anything, you could assume that all of hip-hop culture is comfortable with his actions.
Like something major's about to break. 50 Cent isn't slowing down either. He's teasing more episodes of his docu-series and hinting that the next drop will change everything people thought they knew about Diddy's empire. That statement alone has fans on edge. Insiders close to the show claim there's footage that hasn't been released yet. Footage so shocking that it could allegedly rewrite the entire timeline of Diddy's recent years. Whether that's true or just part of the hype, the curiosity is through the roof. Now everyone's watching, waiting, and questioning what's real and what's been staged. The lines between truth and illusion are getting blurrier by the day, and every new leak or insider comment keeps the fire burning hotter. One thing's clear, this isn't just gossip anymore. It's turned into a full-blown mystery that's pulling in fans, journalists, and even industry insiders who swear they've seen stranger things happen in Hollywood's shadows. One thing's for sure, this story isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Every time people think it's cooling down, something new drops and blows the whole conversation wide open again.
What else can you tell us about it?
So there's a lot more of this never-before-seen footage, Tom, of Combs having really private conversations with his legal team, and you really get a sense of his mindset ahead of his criminal trial, which is really fascinating for me because he never did any sit-down interviews ahead of the trial. So you finally get to see what his strategy was and how worried he was. But clearly, perhaps he didn't think that he was going to go to prison because he's filming this documentary. You're also going to hear from Aubrey O'Day. She was in the girl band Danity Kane as part of making the band. She has an explosive allegation against Combs. And then there's quite a bit that focuses on the murders of Biggie and Tupac, and people from Combs's inner circle raising a lot of questions. People are going to also have a lot to say about that.
The deeper fans dig, the stranger everything starts to look. And now it feels like we're only scratching the surface of what's really happening behind the scenes. The connections, the rumors, the unexplained footage. It all feels like part of something bigger than anyone first imagined. With Diddy's name tangled in every headline, Kanye's silence hanging in the air, and 50 Cent still dropping bombs through his docuseries, the energy around this story is electric. Everyone wants to know what's real, who's telling the truth, and what's being hidden from the public eye. Each new claim turns into a clue, and every coincidence sparks another debate. People can't stop asking, is this a setup, a cover-up, or the biggest celebrity illusion the industry's ever pulled off? The internet is locked in, dissecting every post, every photo, every single quote from the players involved. And even though there are still more questions than answers, one thing's crystal clear. This saga has taken on a life of its own. It's no longer just about Diddy or Kanye. It's about power, control, and how deep the rabbit hole really goes. So, if you've been following this wild ride from the start, you already know it's far from over. There are still missing pieces, untold angles, and maybe even bigger names about to surface. Because in this game, nothing stays buried forever. Not in Hollywood, not in the industry, and definitely not when millions of people are watching every move. If you're intrigued by everything we've uncovered so far, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below. Tell me what you think is really happening here. Is this the biggest switch up in celebrity history or just another Hollywood illusion? Either way, stay tuned, because the truth always finds a way to come out. And when it does, it's gonna shake the world. See you on the next one.